Could the New York Jets actually trade Breece Hall? I'll get into that. Good evening. I am your host, Nick. Welcome to the late night Nick Shine Show. Pleasure to have you here with me. Yeah, could they? Well, I tell you what, I'm going to finish getting things situated. I just walked in the door. Didn't want to keep you guys waiting. Started 30 seconds early. I usually finish 30 seconds into, but tonight, just for you, we start 30 seconds early. And ladies and gentlemen, it's already starting. My good friend Stack has gifted a membership that Bobby Midnight will lose his mind when he see that it went to our new friend, Mimosa. Stack, you are a man amongst men, my good friend. Thank you for the membership. Good luck in the Wayne Corbett helmet raffle. I don't know how the hell I'd send it to you if you win. But, ladies and gentlemen, Stacks, I went against Chuck Gorman yesterday. Yeah, but I did this really weird thing of helped him in real life. That's much more important than who I voted for. I think when push comes to shove, I went above and beyond to help Charles in the last 28 hours. So if you want to question me. But my thoughts on how a poll would go and then my reaction to helping out a friend the second real life shit hit speaks for itself. So I'm sorry that if you're upset about that, but it's the way it is. If you're upset about that, I suggest buckle the fuck up because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to party.
It's got me.
Gentry covering the bumble. Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky. Who, me? Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Stacks, I honestly thought you were trolling. Yeah, Charles was catfished, romance scammed. If you go back to Jake's afternoon show during the big fella Charles Gorman matchup, the last half hour, shit got real. And Charles had the unfortunate or the misfortune of being catfished by somebody, and he was hacked severely. So myself, Purple Belt Mike, helped him out greatly. So I thought you were trolling me. That's why I came a little aggressive with the reply. But yeah, there's been a lot of real life shit. People have been sending money to help out Charles. And on my last tally, we are somewhere between 850 to 900 that has been sent for Charles. So shout out to everyone who stepped up to help Charles. Shout out to everyone for the unnecessary, but the kind words are appreciated. But that's what we do here. I've told you guys for a very long time, for the last 2 years since I got sober, my mission in life is to give back and help people. Whether it's self-inflicted wounds, whether it's to get sober, whether it's anything in life, anything that I can do to help somebody, I will put my life on hold and do whatever I can to help someone. Because I've been in those situations where I needed help, and some have helped, and some have turned their back on me. And I don't want anyone to ever feel that I turned my back on them. So that's just a little insight on where I'm at. Am I still going to make dick jokes? Yes. Am I going to be inappropriate? Yes. Are we going to have a good time? Yes. But when real life shit hits, I like to think that my friends can count on me. That's what life's all about. Have a good time. But when shit gets real, be there for one another. So shout out to Charles. I got you covered, bro. You don't even need to ask. You don't even need to ask. You know who I be. Harley? Enough said. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nick Shine Show. I am your host, Nick. You are the awesome chat. Show everyone how awesome you are by doing a couple things. Okay? Hit the like button. If you are new here and you haven't yet, please subscribe. I believe our last count was 1,424. We're moving up. The march to 1,500 is on. Might be a little bit of a crazy goal, but I'd like to get there by the end of the month, maybe by draft weekend. Would be very fun. So spread the word, as you guys always do, and gals. Much love to all of you. And help a brother out. Also, we are giving away, we have a raffle going here for the full-size Wayne Corbett autographed helmet. You see the little certificate of authenticity on the bottom. That will come with it. We're giving that away Sunday. So this is the last week to get your raffles in. Giving away a bunch of bonuses. And I think since it's a new month, we're going to double everything this week. The entire week, all entries are getting doubled. So if you gift 5, you would get 6. Now we're going to do a 12. Bigger goal, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big helmet, so let's get big with the bonuses this week. So Stack, you're in for 2 already, brother. Sunday night, we will gift that. Oh, shit, baby girl dropping gifts in the chat. You be my sugar mama, Jay Graves. What's up? Give me gifts at night, baby girl. Sorry. Late night, Nick. Feeling a little freaky. Thank you, Jay Graves. You gifted a membership that went to Daniel Murphy. I haven't seen or heard Daniel Murphy in a while. Shout out to Dan. Hope he's doing well. He's Mr. Fitness now. Jay Quest, my grind is never. What's the matter, Jay Quest? You a little intimidated that when you hump people, they fall to the ground and almost get paralyzed? I do a little side grind, and you're like, oh, that's intimidating. I have to insult him. You better calm the fuck down, Jay Quest. That was not awkward. Yeah, she did a let's fucking go. Or like Bobby's new haircut and the new emoji on Jake's show, lesbian fat guy. Maybe it's that, because that's what it looks like, a lesbian fat guy. Andy, thank you, bro. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. My screen froze when you did it. Fuck your screen, bro. I think I tore an oblique. I'm in more pain than you are. I'm not used to turning and grinding that way anymore. It's been a very long time since I had to hit it from the side. Ladies and gentlemen, if there was anyone who was going to bring up doing something to Carly's ass, I did not have Carly mentioning doing things to her ass. But here it is. Don't have to set an alarm for tomorrow. Don't have to wipe anyone's ass but my own. Carly, we wish you well. We hope that you succeed and enjoy that process. Quest, I heard this was happening the other day. Close the app, hard crash the app, come back in. You know how this chat is. If there was something wrong, they would, everyone would be mentioning it. I think you just crashed the app. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Shout out to Stack and Jay Graves for gifting the memberships tonight. As always, you know the deal. If you do that, show comes to an immediate halt. Now, let's discuss the question in the title of the show tonight. Could the Jets actually trade Breece Hall? Now, I will start this off because 3 Siblings is not very talented at listening and comprehending my words. He looks to troll me right away. So I will present this right now for you, Jay. This is not my feelings. This is me presenting a discussion, okay? And that being said, I expect extra trolling from him just because I called him out. But here we go. Could they trade him? Yes. Absolutely. 100%. And here's why. Do you remember when the new regime took place last time? What was one of the first things they did? Traded away Jamal Adams. Former All-Pro safety Jamal Adams. They traded him. They got a ridiculous haul for a safety. They got 2 number ones, a 3, and a safety, I believe, Dexter McDougal, I believe it was. Massive return for a safety. Shocking. A quarterback level return with 2 1s. Now, do I think they would get that if they moved Breece Hall? No. But here's why I think they could do it. And I ask you not to get emotional. I ask you to think logically with this. Most teams do not believe in giving a running back, especially a running back off of an ACL injury, a second contract, upwards of $12, $15, $17 million a year. Thank you, Alan. Bradley McDougal. Dexter McDougal was, I think, a quarterback many years ago for us also, right? But now, if you don't have any intentions of signing Breece Hall long-term, and you love your running back room this much, wouldn't it make sense to trade him? If you're thinking about building this regime, think of this from the Jets front office, not you as a fan, not someone who's the father of a son who loves Breece Hall and has his jersey. Think about it from their perspective. If we wait till next year and Breece Hall becomes a free agent, we don't get a draft pick compensation till the 2027 draft. If you were to trade Breece Hall now, draft weekend, you get that pick now, 2 years earlier. So, if you want to build something and you have a long-term vision and you have needs at right tackle, wide receiver, tight end, D tackle, safety, another wide receiver, and you like your running back room this much, maybe you take from a strength to build your weaknesses. Now, I don't expect everyone to think that's what they want, but if you get a mid to early 2, if you somehow get a late 1, maybe you give up a 3 and a Breece and you get late 1. Does that change your mind? You build an offensive line, you can get a running back anywhere. Is Breece special? Yes. Has Breece gotten anywhere near what we thought he would be? No. Did Breece tear his ACL? Yes. Now, I'm not advocating to do it. I wouldn't do it for just a 3. I wouldn't do it for a 4. I would be furious at that. But if you get a good enough price and you have Aaron Glenn speaking about how much he likes the running back room already, and now you can come out of, let's say, for discussion purpose, 3 of the top 43 picks in year 1, guess what, folks? Breece Hall is probably getting moved. Now it's just a matter of seeing what you can get if that's the route they want to go. If they keep him, absolutely makes sense. I agree with it. But I don't know. I don't know if he's here. And I've said it throughout the year. I've said it. He would be one of the 4 from that 2022 draft class that is least likely to be here long term. Torn ACL, running backs depreciate the minute you draft them. A lot of teams are not giving contracts to second contracts to running backs. I wouldn't be shocked. I would like to keep him. I think he's nowhere near his ceiling. Personally, Nick Shine, keep him. I would maybe even extend them now before you get into this new regime and try to buy low. He might not want to do that, but coming off the knee injury, maybe you get him 2 years, $24 million. Maybe you get 3 for 36. Maybe you get that. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, Mess has gifted. You know what? Let me check something real quick. I'm fuzzy. How's that, ladies and gentlemen? I just changed one of the settings. How do I look? I don't need any comments how I actually look. I don't know what's going on. But our good friend Mess just gifted 5 channel memberships, which will get him 12 raffles because we are doubling up everything this week. They went to The Power, Joe the Jet G, Phantom Green and White, DeAndre Vega, and Terrence Hill. Thank you, Mess. I appreciate you. One of our newest channel members, who was gifted a little while ago, Mimosa, has Breece been coached properly? No, I don't think he was coached properly. I also think that I think the quarterback play this year took a lot of checks and carries and touches away from him. And I think that hurt him. And I think it was so predictable that when we were going to run the ball, because when we were going to pass it, Rodgers was doing all these checks and alerts and changes. And then all of a sudden, when it was a run, it was just a straight snap and the defense knew it was a run. So I think he was set up to fail. That's why I would love to maybe sign him on a cheap extension now before he blows up. But I don't know. I can make logic out of anything with it. I can make logic that the Jets shouldn't give any running back, a second contract. You build your offensive line, you put your investments there, and then you keep drafting a running back every year. Even if it's mid to late round. If you have a good line, Denver Broncos did it forever. If you have a great line, you have a good scheme, and you have a good design, any running back can hit. Terrell Davis was 6th round. Mike Anderson from Navy ran for like 1,800 yards one year, I believe. So there's a lot to be said about getting the guys in front of the runners right. Phillip Lindsay was undrafted, made a Pro Bowl as a rookie as a running back from Denver. If you build in front of, you can really help the running back. And you don't need an elite runner if you have the right scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a super chat from Jake. I just got in. I don't want to trade him, but if it's like a 2, maybe. I really like RPO with Fields. Like from a fantasy standpoint, I think he's behind Gibbs, Barkley. I want that mid-round capital. Yeah, if you can get, like I said, if you can maybe trade a 3 and Breece and get a late 1, say the Chiefs. I hate to give to the Chiefs, but if they're willing to give up with a 1 and now you're coming out with 3 of the top 43 picks in the draft, you become major players. And that's how you kickstart a new regime. So sometimes if you believe Allen and Davis can be a 1-2 punch by themselves, and then you add with a 4th or a 5th round pick another running back, guess what, folks? Breece might be gone at draft weekend. But Jake, thank you. Jake, this gets you 4 raffles because we're doubling everything the rest of the week. I missed a show yesterday. So Wayne Corbett, full-size helmet. You just got 4 raffles for that. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend Alan, Josh Allen Avatar, the man who sat here and put his support behind the Buffalo Bills when everyone thought they were unbeatable. Our human jinx, Josh Allen Avatar, made sure he gave them the kiss of death. He just gifted 5 memberships. They went to Orlando G NYJ, Kelso Porto, Big Steve, Jet Up, and Daniel Diaz. Alan, that just got you 12 raffles. I'm going to have a lot of typing to do tonight after the show. But thank you, Alan. I appreciate you. Indy, good night. Eating Oreos and watching you. Life is good. All right. Fat man tip for you. Get a glass. Put the Oreos in the glass. Put some milk in. Take the spoon. Mash the Oreos down. Add more Oreos. Mash them down. Add a little bit of milk. Stir it up. Oatmeal Oreo. Oreo oatmeal, even better. But that's how I would do it back in the day with like Nutter Butters. It's fantastic. Mimosa says, hi, Nick. Agree. Aaron changed a lot, but I'm just not a fan of what this new regime is doing so far with their win now mentality and the shit choices they are making. I wouldn't get too tied up in the terms we want to win now. Everyone says they want to win now. But the way they're doing it is they want to win by drafting the right way. And they don't have any big name free agent signings. You know, I say all the time, from 2010 to 2019, the New York Jets spent $975 million in free agency, and they haven't made the playoffs since 2010. They spent the second most in that decade behind Washington, and they failed 9 out of the 10 years. So living and paying big in free agency doesn't equate to success all the time. So getting all these guys on one-year deals, drafting your future, building your team the right way is what leads to success. Now, if you coach them up the right way, you can win. If you figure out a way to make Justin Fields an average to above average quarterback, you can win. If you have the right scheme, the right play design, excellent play calling, you can win. Might not win the whole thing, but if you win 7, 8, 9 games in year one with a team that we don't think can win, you're really going in the right direction. And then in year 2, you go all in to get your quarterback, and you build, and you keep building. Don't forget, Muji and Glenn think they can draft. They think that they both know how to scout. They both know how to build this roster through the draft. That's the goal. Can't dismiss that. We might not like that there's not big names, but how did C.J. Mosley and Le'Veon Bell work out that offseason where we gave them 2 massive contracts, the biggest contract at linebacker and the biggest contract at running back? Never won a damn thing. Alan, telling people that we are friends is bad for business. Alan, people can like me for who I am, or they cannot like me. I'm at the age where I don't care. If you support me, I love you for it. If you choose this is not the show and I'm not the person for you, I love you for it. Don't be here if you don't want to be here. I be who I be. If they trade Hall, we riot. Why? What do we win with Hall? We can't get an early 2 or a mid 2. Say Tennessee wants to give up an early 2 for Breece Hall instead of drafting a running back. You wouldn't want the first pick in the second round? Listen, I like Breece Hall, but every player's got a price. Every player's got a price. Jake, if Fields wins 6 games this year, I will be all in. I don't think you're all in with Fields if you win 6. Now, if we are competitive and we're losing a game 24-23 on a last-second field goal, and we lose a game 27-24 on a last-second field goal, and you got 4 of those just missed losses, and he's putting up mid to high 20s, and we're just barely losing those games, it's going to depend how those 6 wins or those 11 losses come. If there's 3 or 4 games that we should have won, and you can see we're getting better as the season goes on, and Fields is evolving in the scheme, and there's a straight trajectory that we look at and say, holy shit, this is coming together. I mean, how the season plays out is way more important than what the win total is. Brian says 5.5 over under. Over. Even if it's just 6, I am fully convinced that this team will win more than they did with Aaron Rodgers. Because the scheme, the coaching, the misdirection, the execution of the run, the blitzing, utilizing your players and not trying to make your players fit your scheme, I think equals a little bit more success. Even if we don't have the same talent on paper, I think we're going to have the talent utilized better. And in the NFL, that is much, much more important than having talent. Washington Redskins in the early 2000s, when they got Albert Haynesworth for $100 million and they stole Coles and Randy Thomas and Chad Morton and John Hall from the Jets in one offseason, never won anything. Coaching the talent is much more than acquiring the talent. It's why the New England Patriots lost 2 Super Bowls to the Giants, because the Giants with Steve Spagnuolo were on fire those 2 postseasons. How you coach your talent is much more important than the talent that you have. And when you have a team talented and coached well, that's when you see dynasties. David, one of our Detroit Lions fans. Thank you, David. A benefit of trading Breece Hall to Jets get good compensation in return is his likely replacement will be under contract on the first year of his rookie contract. Hall becomes an unrestricted free agent 2026. Yeah. So if you don't think if you have had discussions internally and you are of the mindset of we're not going to spend money on running backs, we can draft running backs and have them on the rookie deal. And if that's what Muji and Glenn believe, buy Breece. And it's going to be buy draft weekend. You want my prediction? Not that I want it. My prediction? Round 2, Friday night, Breece is traded. Dicker the Kicker is here. And we have some new emojis today. We added the Blitz BK emoji the other day, and I wanted to add some more. So we have Aaron Glenn, the happy coach. We have Justin Fields, a QB1. And we have Darren Muji with Nerd Alert. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy yourselves. Become a member of the channel. Brian, if they were playing the comp pick game, he walks and fades. But if you play the comp pick, you're not getting that pick till 2027 because he's playing 2025. He leaves in free agency in 2026. The comp pick comes in April of 2027. If you trade him now, you accelerate the compensation by 2 years. And I know everyone likes Breece Hall. I like Breece Hall. I think he was horrifically utilized this year. I think Aaron Rodgers took the ball out of his hands a lot, and I think that Breece looked better with Mike White and Zach Wilson than he did with Aaron Rodgers. Now, that being said, I don't believe in giving a running back a second contract. I want my compensation as soon as possible. That's me. But if we keep him, I get it. I'm for it. I would love to see what he does with competent coaching and a team that's committed to the run. Maybe he can be what we've always thought he's been. However, I can also see the organization saying, we I don't have a long-term plan or hope for you to be here. We're not going to give you a second contract. So, Jake with another super chat. Thank you, Jake. This gets you two $5 super chats this week up until Sunday. No, Sunday show starts the new raffle. Sunday night we will raffle away the Wayne Corbett autographed helmet. So get your super chats, get your gifted memberships in, raffle up, baby. Jake says, I'm perennially negative. I think we can win 8 with Breece. I move him for a 2, though, since I wouldn't pay him. It's fair. It's fair. A lot of teams do this. If they don't think you're win now, you sell off pieces that you don't think will be here long term in order to build your team. It's going to be emotional. Jets fans will surely overreact. But when you look what Breece has done, are we saying that's irreplaceable? Oh, man. Eyelash is kind of mad. For those of you that wear contacts, it feels like you get stabbed in the eye when you get an eyelash under your contact lens. That's one of the worst things. Mess, do you want super chats or membership? I mean, I think memberships are, you give a gift to the channel, but you're also gifting it out and helping the community here grow. And when you get gifted a membership, you get an email. So maybe people who haven't watched the show might not know the show's going on late at night. They get notified. I think that helps the channel. I think that helps the channel more. And then if we grow the channel, I'm here. You know what? I'll do it. Here's 5. Let's fucking party. Oh, look at these names coming up. Uh-oh. Not that name. I gifted 5. That went to Phenom, Stinky Fart, Mercy Fate, Papa Jet 73, and Twisted. Oh, we're getting wild here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are kicking the month off on fire. David D gifting 5. That went to Mark Levine, Smitty, PA, 14 years, Alex, and Smoke Champ. I tell you right now, there are a lot of people in this chat on a nightly basis who would love to debate and challenge Smoke Champ for that name. You know who you are, you puff bastards. Maybe Puff Addy? Puff Addy's got an emoji here. Oh, she's at it again, folks. Jay Graves gifted one that went to Sir Luca. We are flying off the shelves tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Jake with another super chat. Thank you, Jake. I do think Breece is irreplaceable, just not now. It's to be determined, right? Like, we don't know what the scheme is. We don't know how the right tackle's going to look. We don't know how a Fields-led offense is going to look. So I don't think we can make any definitive statements right now. The only definitive statement that we can make that I think we'll all agree on is that if Breece Hall gets traded draft weekend, Jets fans will lose their goddamn minds. There will be a large portion with the Elmo dumpster on fire reactions. It will be bad. Jake, you are the man tonight, Jake. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake has now gifted 5 channel memberships. That went to Rui Ken, Eric Hajosh, Good Vibes, Christopher Byers, and Raymond T. It's raining. It's a late night thunderstorm. It's a late night thunderstorm in here, ladies and gentlemen. We are cooking with gas tonight, and I cannot thank you enough. How much gas are we cooking with? We're going to do 5 more. How about that? Let's get crazy here tonight. Oh, and we did 10 more right there. All right. We got to catch up to this. I gifted 5 that went to Ryan Woods, Michael Stipik, forgive me, M7D, Cyprian Rogers, Mojo Jets. Then Mess gifted 5 more that went to James Parascando, TC, James Harrison, Jet 41, and Dave M. Thank you. Mess, you are the man. I'm going to be up till 5 o'clock in the morning typing all of these into the wheel. We have a lot on the wheel already. And if you wonder why this is happening at such a rapid rate, we are doubling for the rest of the week. Every single raffle entry for the full-size Wayne Corbett helmet. It's a beauty. Big fella with a super chat. Keep doing your thing, twin. Big fella, I'm only trying to be like you, bro. I'm only trying to be like you, my good friend. Yeah, as I say that, Indy says the big fella's the older brother. That's it, man. It's an honor to even have that sentence typed and written about me. Big fella, you're the man. Remain that way. Boomtown with a comment, and Boomtown doesn't comment often. So when Boomtown comments, it's definitely going up on screen. It's bizarre to me that so many Jets fans can be so flippant about being able to easily replace Breece. Then others say he sucks, yet are worried it would cost a fortune to keep him. Makes no sense. I don't think you're directing that at me. I think you're directing that at fans. I hope that's not what you took from my comments and statements. But like I said, if I could break it down simply, if they trade him, I can see the logic in it. If you don't want to sign him long term, move him. Move him now, get the compensation now, so you have another piece to build your roster. If you keep him and then let him go next year and wait for the comp pick in 2027, you should have fucking moved him now. If you're going to keep him, sign him to an extension. Don't keep him to let him walk next year. You know what I mean? Act now. Extension now or trade draft weekend. That's what I'm saying. I have a whole other issue with what you said. Are you teasing me for the what did we learn? Are you teasing me? I didn't say ship him off to Canada. I didn't take any international shots. Oh, the Rodgers thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I smack myself on the wrist for you. Okay, boom. Matthew, I don't think Breece signs that. I don't think he takes that right now. 2 years, 14, $7 million a year. I don't think he takes that. I would love it. As a fan, I would love that. I don't think Breece takes that in any way, shape, or form. I don't. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you for hanging out here at the Late Show. We are after midnight. We're at 50 likes. That's not bad. For those of you who haven't seen the show in a minute, Sunday night, 8 o'clock, we're doing a thing here. We have a tournament going for who is the most hated Jet in history. We are on to the Sweet 16. We are going to do we are in round 2, and we have to do the other side of the bracket, I believe. Let me pull it up now. I'm going to look at it right now. We're 62% of the way. Okay. What we will do Sunday, we will do the other 8 matchups just to show you right now with where we are at. I'll give you a little glimpse. So Sunday, we have Tony Sperano against Brandon Moore's ass. We have One Punch Ike against Rich Kotite. Brick Johnson against Vernon Golston. It's probably the most exciting matchup of the day. We have Tim Boyle against Jamal Adams. We have Nate Hackett against Calvin Pryor. We have, oh no, this is the biggest matchup. We have Mike McCagnon against Adam Gase. We have Tremaine Johnson against Mike Vick. We have Shared Stadium against Brian Schottenheimer. So that's the 8 matchups we will have on Sunday. And this side of the bracket, we're already on to the Sweet 16. We have Hassan Reddick against Doug Bryan. Michael Clemens against Zach Wilson. Bill Belichick against Greg Van Rotten. And John Idzik against Mekhi Becton. So we're starting to get there. From here on out, it will only be on Sunday shows. So this Sunday, we will do the round of 32. We'll do those 8 matchups. How many matchups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 matchups. And then the following week, we will have another 8 matchups to get us down. Where are we? Bloop, 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 bloop. Where the fuck did it go? That's what she said. Wow, that really shrunk. That's also what she said. So that's where we're at. Let me catch up with the chat. Sorry, I wasn't seeing the chat. Patrick, I really disagree with that. If you trade Breece Hall, you're going to trade him to a team that thinks that he can help them win. You're going to get maybe a slight overpay. You're going to get a 2. If not, like I said, a pick swap where we give a 4 and Breece and get an early 2, a 3 and a Breece and get a 1. You can really use that to jump up the draft board. So it'd be interesting. Alan says, Douglas let Huff and Reed walk for nothing. Muji will not follow suit. Deal Hall and Quincy a year before they walk. It's possible. If you want to build it the right way. Build it, get your draft picks fast and furious. Don't forget when Douglas came in, he traded Herndon, traded Darnold, he traded Jamal. There was a lot of people that got traded very quickly so they could put their imprint on the team. Don't think that you're not going to see some action from this. Big fella. Nick, honestly, I think this is all smoke. The contract situation makes it believable to other teams. Possible extension after draft. Play like Genty is an option. Other teams get ahead of us and someone falls. That's fair. That's definitely fair. Seeing ghosts. I think the Jets would be much more running back by committee than last year's, maybe ever. That's true. I agree with that. And why I agree with that? You want to see what you got. You want to see if Allen and Davis can be the guy. You want to know, what do we have to do in year 2? Big Will question. What's up, Will? Thanks for watching. If you are the GM, what would you offer Breece to keep him? I'll be honest with you. I would see what I could get first. I would shop him. I am not a believer of drafting a running back in round 1, and I am not a believer of giving a running back a second contract. If you are close to winning a title and that player is a player, like I think the Giants made the right move for the Giants, not by signing Daniel Jones, But why spend all that money on a running back when you need to build your roster because you're not close to winning? The Eagles, they were close to winning. It made sense for them to sign the player. So I'm not signing a running back just to sign a running back. If I'm going to give a running back money, it's going to be how the Ravens did it to try to put them over the top of Derrick Henry. It's going to be how the Packers did it to try to add Jacobs to their roster. Minnesota went with Aaron Jones. You're seeing that running backs are not getting big money on the market. Guys are moving. People don't want to give them money, and they'll let them go rather than do it. You can't sign everyone. Our buddy Hawk, I think trading Breece is a mistake. We can't replace him. Yes, you can. You can replace running backs very easily. I disagree with that, buddy. This is his contract year, his breakout year, which means he'll play himself out of a contract that would make sense for us. It's a breakout year, a year when he'll be fully healed from ACL and have a scheme that benefits him. I agree with that, but I just don't agree with giving a running back big money. Maybe he starts off the year great and trade him by the trade deadline, and you get a pick for 2026. You still got that bullet in the chamber to use. Oh, I'm sorry, Jake. Jake, you are very, very generous tonight. I appreciate you, man. You're just trying to win the helmet. I wish we could have Breece as he is forever. I know we aren't winning, so move him. And it hurts me to say it. I love him. That's the thing, right? You can have the right player at the wrong time. I think Sam Darnold was the right player at the wrong time. You know, timing matters. Saquon Barkley was the right player, but now with the Giants on the teardown, it didn't make sense to pay $15 million a year for a running back. Melissa says, so trading Breece makes Braylon RB1. Well, it would be by committee, and if you trade him draft weekend, you're probably adding another running back to the room. Plus, there's always veteran running backs you can get for cheap to come in and be the mentor for Allen and Davis. But if they like that physical style of Allen and Davis up the middle, it's possible. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who slayed Mikey in the tournament, Ricky New York, just gifted a membership to the channel. Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate you. It went to Macau Edwards. Thank you, Rick. You are the man. Barney Miller with a super chat. Losing Breece is worse than losing Rodgers. I agree with that. I don't think it's the end of the world if they trade Breece, but I agree. We won 7 games with Breece. We only won 5 with Rodgers. So, yes, technically, yes, it would be worse. You guys are awesome tonight. You guys are absolutely awesome. You guys are tremendous. I can't even keep up with you guys tonight. Brian, here's an interesting one. ABT is on a fully guaranteed 5th-year option for now $15 million. Extend him for top 5 guard money for 3 years right now. I don't know if the ABT fits the mold of what they want to do. I don't think he's aggressive enough or mauler enough. Not for my style. It's to be determined what they want to do. But I don't think you see now with massive guards and how they affect the running game, and they move. Philly moves in Becton, something I said 2 years ago that we should do. It's I don't know. AVT seems too finesse. I want a nasty mauler that we can run behind. I want a 6'5", 330-pound guard who can just pummel defensive tackle out of the way get to the second tier to the linebacker, and we gash right behind them and hit it. What did I notice, Brian? I don't know what I noticed. I don't know what that comment is in reference to. Eddie, I'm not knocking AVT as a blocker, but he's not a mauler. He's not a power blocker. He is a technician. He is finesse and a technician. He is not a knock a guy on his ass. Like, he's not a monster. He's a very good blocker. He's great with his technique. And sometimes you need guys like that. But in my interior, I would love to have a just mammoth. I'm a size queen. I want my D tackles and I want my guards to be massive guys. I do. And it's not a knock on his ability to block, but it's just I would take someone who, like a Becton at guard, with that size. Not Becton by name, but the size. I think you're seeing it. I think you're seeing a turn where you're going to see some of these big tackles who might not be able to move as well move into guard. And I said 2 years ago, I can get Jeremy, Batu-K, Tigo on here to verify. I would say time and time again, I would rather have Becton fighting in a phone booth than out in space against a speed rusher. And you see that he went to Philly and he did really well. Let's see, where are we at? We're at 56 lights. So here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to be on very late tonight, but with how awesome you guys and gals have been, I am going to share the link. If you've donated tonight, you get to cut the line immediately. David, I definitely envision the Jets under the new regime putting an emphasis on having a strong 4-minute fourth quarter offense. The only question on the end is when this will happen, not if. Yeah. You know, you get a tight end like Warren, you get a speedster, you have a guy with size like Lazard, you have a physical wide receiver like Corley, you have do it all with Garrett Wilson, you have Breece out of the backfield. You have the makings of guys who can all bring something different to the scheme. You have 12 personnel with Ruckert and Warren. You have RPOs with 3 in the backfield in the shotgun with Braylon, Fields, and Breece next to each other. You can get creative with it. If you decide to stay with Breece, it can get really creative. Like I said, a play that I love, you put Wilson out wide and you run him on a deep post. You have Warren go right up the middle, right? He flares right up the hashes. You flare Breece out. If you're in zone, you hit Wilson before he gets to the safety. If you're in man, you look at the linebacker. If the linebacker jumps for Breece, you hit Warren up the gap because the safety's occupied by Wilson. If the linebacker drops, you dump it off to Breece and let him run through the corner. It's very, very simple, the scheme, guys. You can attack one side of the field. You can attack. You send someone in motion, you motion Warren, you get your read if they're in man or zone, and then you pick on one player. Cornerback jumps, you hit Garrett. Linebacker drops, you hit Breece. Linebacker jumps up, you hit Warren up the seam. Simple. Simple reads. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Call play, run play. Get to the huddle, do it again. All right. Late night. Call lines are open. I know it's late. but I wanted to reward you guys with how generous you were tonight. Let me play a song. I will be right back, and if we have someone here, we'll bring them on. If not, maybe we'll start winding the show down a little early tonight. So I shall return right after this.
Good evening. Welcome to Thursday Night Throwdown. I'm your host, Nick.
When the blitz comes, there's no one to block him.
It's 10 o'clock, get ready for the showdown. 9 toes down, Nick, ready for the throwdown. We proud Jets fans, we don't play with them pronouns. Best roster in the league, we playing with the pros now. They tell us slow down, call us delusional, call us losers as usual. But this season will be beautiful. Shotgun with you know who, but run it instead. Lad Hall hit the hole hard.
That's what she said.
Ground and pound like it's 2010. The chat, we got many friends. Johnny wearing hats for super chat and watch him breathe again. Nick put the link so Bobby can call and speak again. Bonesy get the blunt, I got the weed and pens. We speaking green again. Jets news like it's CNN. A-Rod and Charles Gorman, it's like we seeing twins. Feeding Tims, pounding on these bleeding fins. We 14 and 18 when they needing wins. They ain't seeing them. We run the ball and play defense. This is AFC hell where the teams repent. Ladies and gents, welcome to MetLife. This is Jet Life. We bleed green, this our best life. We just nice.
Let's say what's up to everyone. Dark soldiers.
And this just in, you can go fuck yourself.
Hell yeah. Better listen to my girl. She knows what she's talking about. So we are 22 days away from the draft. And I know that round one is sexy, right? Round one is the pick that we as Jets fans always believe is going to be the franchise changer. Well, I have a little bit of breaking news. You know what changes franchises? Drafting well in rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Finding a guy in the 7th round that fits what you want, who becomes a 10-year player on your team. That's what's sexy. One player in a draft, not good. That's why Joe Douglas's drafts weren't very great. The whole 2019 draft. 2019 was Becton? 2020 was Zach. Right? 19 was Becton, I think. No, 2020 draft was Becton off of the 2019 season. Zach was 2021 off of the 2020 college season. Okay. So, here's what I think. You go and you build, and you get the middle of the draft, and you hit on your second rounder, and you get the right tackle in the second round. It's a safe pick, right? We have PTJD. We have post-traumatic Jets disorder. Round 2, we're a little burned by it. Go with the safe pick. Yeah, thank you, Matthew. I figured it out as I was going through it. The 2021 draft was the 2020 college season, so that's when Zach and ABT came in. Now, that third round pick, you got to find a weapon to match with the tight end. You need a tight end and receiver. Round 4, you can find a D tackle. Round 5, as of right now, you have 2 picks. Get another weapon, get a safety, find someone that you can bring in and coach up. Round 6, you have 2. Might take a special teamer. Might take someone who's a linebacker depth piece, someone that you can use on specials and then develop into a player, kind of like what we did with Sherwood. Do not sell short. This coaching staff believes they can coach people up. They believe that they can develop you. They believe that if they bring you in, they have a vision for you. They have a purpose. They have a reason. They handed in that ticket with your name on it because you are going to grow and blossom and develop. It's not an arrogance. It's believing in oneself. And Aaron Glenn and Muji have that. Aaron talks it more, but let's see Muji walk it. And we won't know right away. can't give out draft grades because you don't know how players are going to be utilized. You don't know how they come and they bring it together. I hate draft grades. Draft grades are stupid. The only thing stupider than draft grades are redrafts. You ever see these fucking bullshit things? A redraft. Why don't you just rank the class? What the fuck are you doing a redraft for? It's such a stupid waste of time for people to put a redraft together. Just rank the class. Give me the top 25 players from that draft. That's a more interesting read than, oh, what should the Cowboys should have done with the 14th pick 3 years ago? The fuck? Waste my time with that bullshit. I don't know why I came back from the bathroom angry. Alan, I did finally see this today. Tyreek Williams just had a cramp. For any of you who saw Tyreek Williams go down and grab his leg when he ran the 40 at his pro day, I think we all thought, holy shit, this is serious. Kind of like Wonder Pets when the kids are little. Just serious. Sorry, I'm a dad. I know I'm a really fucking cool guy, but I'm also a dad. And I make some cool references that kids will enjoy as well. Matthew Smith probably got that. He's young enough to remember Wonder Pets. And some of your parents might as well. Ming Ming, the little yellow bird, was the cutest fucking cartoon character ever. I have so much useless knowledge. But maybe Tyreek Williams falls. Of course, big fella. Of course, big fella knows Wonder Pets. My dude. Team money. We traded up for a guard at 14 in 2021 with a joke of a roster. And what's funny is we traded with Minnesota. Minnesota went back and drafted Christian Darrisaw, who's had a much better career than ABT. Yeah, man. I knew you would know, buddy. The phone is ringing. Jake says, Nick, make me hate you. You should talk to the women who've been in my past. I'm usually very, very good and quick at making people hate me. That's not true. Me and my ex-girlfriend for over a decade are still best friends. We talk every day. My ex-wife and I get along great. I left my ex-wife for my ex-girlfriend, and within a year, they loved one another. And they would be at like my kids' sporting events, and I'd be coaching, and the two of them would be sitting next to each other, and other coaches would look at me like, "How the fuck did you pull that off?" Like there should be police. Like if that happened with me and my ex, there would be like police there. I'm like, oh no, I'm a wizard. I'm a magician. Some strange times. They still probably get along great. They don't see each other anymore, but when they do talk, they get very excited and run and hug each other, and both of them forget that I'm there. No DP. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you guys enough tonight for your generosity. It's the beginning of the month. YouTube does give you some free, they give you 10 free memberships to gift out. I gifted those out tonight to thank all of you guys. But right now I am going into the Nick Shine wallet, and I'll gift 5 of my own with all of your generosity. And a reminder, I don't get any raffles with any of these. I'm not into the raffle at all. But I just want to give back to you guys and gals with how great and awesome you are. Oh, you better start pulling up some names, YouTube. Why are you lagging, dog? Don't get us back to this. You're kidding me, right? All right. What are we doing? Come on, YouTube. Son of a bitch. We haven't had this happen in a while. Come on. You can do it, baby. Come on. You know what happens? Sometimes this will happen. And then, like 7 in the morning, there'll be names there. I'm trying to see if any of them. I listen. You want to see the stripper gig? You gotta super chat that. I mean, I'm not. Hey, Peganardi, how are you? Thank you for popping in. Figures. But ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest do not gift anymore right now. If you want any other raffles, I do suggest super chats. Sometimes I hit a max. This hasn't happened in a while, so maybe it's the glitch with YouTube right now. I don't think we're near the max, but you never know. Yeah, great. We broke YouTube. YouTube's breaking me. Thank you, Alan. Alan gives compliments and insults. He has to keep balance in his life. If he insults you, or if he compliments you, he has to add an insult to keep perfect balance in his world. But I did have a nice conversation on the phone with Alan today. We spoke for a little bit, and he may be seeing Midnight Brothers later in the month. So that'll be fun. I told him, I was like, man, we got to record that whole thing. And you lied to me. You lied to me about tonight, Alan. You promised me something that would happen tonight, and it didn't. But we'll keep that for another occasion. I don't want to spoil it and tell everyone what it may be. But thank you for the compliment. So as we start winding down the channel, or winding down the show on the channel, what did we learn today? I'm going to tell you what I learned. I learned that mistakes happen. I learned that in a world full of awfulness, in a world full of evil, this community stays undefeated. The people who stepped up today, last night, and sent funds to help Charles out because they understand his situation and they understand that it is different than if that were to happen to me. I salute you. I thank you. You're awesome. Charles has made back more than what he suffered the loss, but it'll help cover some of the losses and other expenses with the LifeLock, locking the credit scores. He's going to Social Security tomorrow with his father. So he does have some expenses that'll be coming up, and I will be dropping off money to them tomorrow, cash, because that's why I can't get Venmos. That's why people have been sending me the Venmos or the PayPals. People who sent Jake money pushed it over to me. So I do have a significant amount of money to get to Charles, and I thank all of you who made that possible. And I will say what I've said a million times. If this team is ever as good as this fan base is, we'll never lose another game again. You people are fucking tremendous, which is why I will take the shirt off my own back and give it to you, which is why I'll put my life on pause. If any of you ever need anything, I'm your guy. Call me. Thank you to everyone for just being as tremendous as you are. Jake, if you go back and watch Jake Asman's show yesterday afternoon, I think an hour and 22 minutes, there's a comment in the show. It's the big fella Charles matchup. Oscar the Grouch put a timestamp. I think it's an hour and 22 in, and absolute chaos hits. Charles was catfished with a romance scam and was asking for some funds to help out, and basically came to the realization that it may have been a scam. Purple Belt Mike reached out to me since he knows I'm friendly with Charles, and Charles lives in town here with me. And Mike went above and beyond. And I've been in contact with Charles, his family, him again today, all day. So it's a tough situation. I feel bad for him, but it could be a lot worse. If he didn't reach out on Jake's show, this may have been ongoing for a lot longer. Joyce says, you lost too much weight. Your shirt wouldn't fit me. Yeah, I know. This shirt used to be skin tight, and I couldn't put this shirt on. And now it's nice to wear clothes that I've had in the closet that I haven't worn in a really long time. Hey, we can't talk about that, Quest. What happens in the DP stays in the DP. Whatever the conversations we have, stay there. Big fella, you the man, bro. You know, I was thinking, and I am happy it was me he was battling. Agreed. You know, everything happens for a reason. The timing of the show, Charles having dinner, the request, it all happened in my mind that God made that happen so that we could step up and help him and help educate him and help him get through an awful situation. You know, you hear those stories and you see hit close home to one of our own and one of our beloved. We got to do what we can to help him out. Infrared, keep Charles's farts towards Woodbridge. We get enough farts in Jersey City. Infrared, I got you covered, okay? Anything for you, buddy. As long as you're not yelling in caps, and then I don't know if you're yelling at me or the chat or just in general, I got you, man. As long as I'm not confused, I got your back, pal. Paganardi, for every asshole, there's 20 people as great as you all. Amen, man. And that's the thing, right? Yes, this was awful. Yes, this was negative. This was a tragedy, right? But man, you see how awesome this community is. You see how great, and that if you hurt one of ours, you might knock us down, but man, there's going to be a whole army of people picking that person up to support them. We've seen other issues go on in this community. There's been other times that I've had to ask people if we could help one of our own. And time again, many of you answer that call. You don't ask why. You don't ask what. You just say, tell me how I can help. And I love you all for it. You make my life better by being a part of it. And I appreciate you guys for that. Modine with an interesting Modine twist. Charles is a hero. You have to be brave to go after what you love with total recklessness. I have spray for that. That was great. The big fella doing the voice. I smell criminality. Tremendous. I hope you sprayed yourself so you can get out of that suit. Sometimes those rubber suits can get a little sticky icky. Oh, thank you, Quest. Very kind of you. But ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have any what did we learn, how do you not have what did we learn? What are we doing here, folks? I think I learned that this community is great. You guys are tremendous tonight. Good luck to everyone. I will be spending the next half hour typing in all these names into the wheel. I do have to add Sunday night show or Monday night show as well. Wednesday. I do have to add Mondays. I have to go back to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have any what did we learn, Wild Wave. Shout out to big fella Jake. Yeah, man. The rest of the community for looking out to Charles. Hell yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've given you ample opportunity to write what did we learn. But now it's time for the one and the only. The man who is not like Charles. His booms are heard internationally, not just in Woodbridge, not in any town, but in Boomtown. Boom, if you would be so kind as to educate us on what did you learn tonight. I learned that Coach Glenn has a fucking backbone. I like it. Sarah says, I didn't learn anything because I just got here. Well, bloody hell, what the fuck you been doing all day? Well, we will recap it for you right now, Sarah. Sarah, sit still, listen, and Boomtown will educate you on what you missed. I learned Nick voted against Charles. Dick jokes will forever remain on this channel. Jay Quest is uppity on humping techniques. Highly probable the only ass Carly is wiping is hers tomorrow. Bonus, lots of thunderstorms and cooking with gas tonight. Well done, Shiners. The big fella is the older brother. Nick came back from the bathroom very angry. Nick is the relationship magician. Thank you, Boom. Appreciate you, sir. Yeah, I came back from the bathroom angry, and then all of a sudden the memberships weren't being gifted. But we'll update. We'll see what we get. Sometimes they pop in. But Boomtown, thank you, sir. You're the man. And Infrared. It's 100% right. This is the best chat ever. It's the best fan base ever. You guys are the best additions to my life. At 40, in my mid-40s, I never thought I would add so many new friends and so many new people to my life that have become the focal point of my life, after my kids, of course. But when Nick mounts off, some of you move up ahead of him. He's a teenager. When he talks back, sometimes he slides down the list a little bit. But you guys are tremendous. Thank you for being a part of this. However you want to term this, thank you for being a part of it. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And we will be back tomorrow night. And Sarah learned, all I got from that is Carly is wiping her own ass tomorrow. Yes, and surprisingly, there was not 30 offers to help her with that. That's the comments I was waiting for. But she doesn't have to babysit, so she doesn't have to wipe any kid's ass. She only has to wipe her own ass. Cue the quote from Big Daddy, I wipe my own ass. I wipe my own ass. And that's how we'll end the show. Ladies and gentlemen, you're the fucking best. I love you. And remember,
draft Aaron Rodgers. Funny you put me in the suit and tie that time.
yeah, I think you'd be great at it, my friend.
Hey, all you shiners, it's time for something cool. I'm here to do my part. I'll drop a stinky fart. No chicken soup for you. I'm gonna eat it up. And then I'll do a show and talk about the Green Hornet. I got a new laptop. You know it doesn't suck. I'll need to keep it down when I'm making too much noise. My mom will pull the plug and Dennis smack my ass, and that will surely blow. Hey, fuckers, it's time for the Nick Shine Show.
It's got me.
Gentry covered in fumble. Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his promise, Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, so get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky. Who, me? Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick